Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, Mike and T. What up, T?
Howdy, man.
How are you?
I'm okay for a Monday.
Yeah. Start of the week.
Yeah, nobody likes Mondays.
No, especially after the first Sunday with no football.
It's a little depressing.
Oh, it's beyond depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if anything comes out of this USFL thing
And XFL.
and XFL.
XFL announced today some sort of collaboration with the NFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they took my advice and the last
think
place team.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think they want to use it because the XFL had some good things, like that overhead camera that zooms down and follows the plate on the center field.
Yeah.
That was all taken from the XFL. The NFL never did that. There were certain changes to the game. I can't remember them offhand, but so I think they're interested in that, like implementing some new rules to have the XFL try it.
They just need to be
different
more
equipment.
Football focused and less wrestling and bullshit focused. You know,
exactly.
The cheerleader locker room cams. And all the nicknames. He hate me and all that shit they tried the first time.
Dude, do you remember who their first on-field reporting team was doing that in the locker room stuff?
I do not.
With the chicks and the cheerleaders and all that? Opie and Anthony.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No shit. No.
There you go. That's all you need to know. And they were in the height of their shock jockery at the time, you know? So, I don't know, it'll be interesting. We'll check it out.
It's football. It's better than nothing.
I suppose.
Barely.
We'll see. We'll see. Olympics ended over the weekend.
Yeah? How'd we do? I never saw the finals.
No idea. I enjoyed watching some of the stuff. A lot of people tuned out. A lot of people was not cool with China hosting that thing.
Yeah.
With their Uyghur Muslim camps, you know, some startling video has come out of there of these people on their knees with like blindfolds on and shit. With you know, like it doesn't look good at all. So a lot of people were just done with like, why would you reward this country with this Olympics? And a lot of people just tuned out.
Yeah, probably part of why they kept everybody in such a bubble. Just so they keep them in that so they couldn't go out and explore.
Yeah. And I'm still pissed at Eileen Gu. I'm sorry. I just am.
Yeah.
You don't get to be born in San Francisco, raised here your whole life, going to Stanford in the fall, and then be like, oh, my mom's Chinese, so I'm going to play for the China team.
Yeah, and then just dominate.
And then smoke everybody.
We needed those medals.
I feel like we should get half those medals.
Yeah.
What did she win? 2 golds and a silver, or 3 golds and a silver, something like that?
Yeah, she had the top 3 runs in that one, so she should have won all 3, to be honest with you.
And it looked like a transgender athlete playing against women. I mean, she fucking dominated.
Yeah, you could just tell it was when she took it. It's just weird how one person could be so clearly better than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, they're generational athletes. You see it, you know. There's a Jordan comes along, LeBron comes along that just dominate their field. And, you know, Shaun White did it for 15 years or whatever.
It was comical seeing the difference between men and women on a lot of that stuff. You know, the women are like, ooh, 12 feet on that one coming out of the half pipe. Men are like 29.
Yeah.
And he went full, he did a 1780.
Yeah.
She did a 360.
Yeah. Seeing the girls lose all the momentum on we're talking about the
half pipe
snowboard. And it was like they'd get one run. It's like, ooh, she got up 10 feet past the lip. And then the next one's like 3 feet past the lip, then barely past the lip, and then she's trying to do a 180, you know, from the midpoint of the fucking slope of the half pipe. It was just,
Once you lose it, you can't get it back. That's for sure.
No, and there's just no competition. You see men's and women's. It's just not there. I'm sorry. No offense, ladies.
It's okay.
No offense. The other thing that happened over the weekend, we got a totalitarian regime in Canada. Who would have thought? The friendliest people on earth would have shut down democracy, essentially. I mean, that's the way it feels.
A little bit.
You know? I mean, I was glad to see hashtag blackface Hitler trending over the weekend. Yeah, blackface Hitler.
Yeah.
Yep. Canadian Prime Minister Blackface, who we're talking about, became the subject of
JT.
Unflattering Twitter trend amid his crackdown on the trucker protests. He evoked emergency powers, as we've talked about, arrested protesters, froze financial accounts, even threatened to have government officials confiscate pets.
What the fuck?
Threatened to have them euthanized if they couldn't be claimed in like a week.
Man.
I mean, dude.
You lost your damn mind.
Lost your damn mind.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, so then.
And their only demand was, I mean, they wanted to sit down to him and talk. They wanted to sit down and have a conversation
totally
with him.
Peaceful, willing to.
And he wouldn't even have a face-to-face meeting with him. And he went to this extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. You could call it what you want, a tyrant. right?
Yeah.
Tyrannical, cruel and oppressive government or rule, cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control.
Seems.
Arbitrary is the key word there to me.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of video and photos of Prime Minister Blackface having meetings with Black Lives Matter protesters, taking a knee with them outside. You know, whether that's a photo op, I'm sure he doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
He's been in blackface more than black people themselves. So that, I mean, him in pictures at costume parties dressed as Hitler with SS on his armband. Like, this guy's a fucking clown.
Yeah.
To massive levels. It's unbelievable, but he's on the right side politically, so he can.
And he's at the top.
He's at the top. Authoritarianism. Authoritarianism. The enforcement of strict obedience to authority at the expense of personal freedom. That seems like it fits.
That seems appropriate as well, yeah.
Dictatorship, government by dictator, autocracy, system of government by one person with absolute rule. But these all seem to fit this dude.
They definitely apply.
You know? Yeah, I don't know where this goes, but
we'll see what the pushback is on this. I mean,
there's pushback. Going after the little guy, talk about punching down,
yeah.
right? Going after people, they have doxed all these people that donated, you know? You've got one woman, a Canadian MP, says the bank account of a single mom with a minimum wage job has been frozen after she donated $50.
Oh, my God.
$50, the Freedom Convoy. They've been freezing the accounts and canceling credit cards of people linked to the trucker protest in accordance with the...
There's new emergency act.
Yeah, it's emergency act. Gives them all this fucking power.
Make up your own bullshit.
And he doesn't want to relinquish it, and they are going to continue.
Because it's so easy to take power back once you give it up.
Right. Yep.
He's going to have it. He's not going to want to give it up. You never know when that next one's going to come around the corner.
There's a parliamentary vote on whether blackface did the right thing set to take place in the coming days. Single mom named only as Brianna is one of those people, according to Canadian MP Mark Strahl. I won't pretend to know any of the provinces and who these MPs are, but as concerns grow that scores of ordinary people will no longer be able to pay for food or basics if their accounts have been frozen for just making a donation.
Yeah.
Brianna's a single mom from Chilliwack.
Okay.
Never heard of Chilliwack.
No, you wouldn't. There's a lot of weird fucking places out there, man.
Chilliwack sounds like one of them. Minimum wage job. She gave $50 to the convoy when it was 100% legal. She hasn't participated in any other way. Her bank account has now been frozen. This is who blackface is actually targeting with his Emergencies Act orders.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Response varied from people angry, stating this would never happen, to a Black Lives Matter protester. That's a fact. You can say what you want. That's a fact. Yeah. That wouldn't. And maybe you like that. Maybe someone out there goes, fuck it. I believe in Black Lives Matter. I don't believe in the trucker convoy, so fuck them. Who cares? Dangerous road to travel.
Great, until it's something you don't agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you are going to be screaming bloody murder when it goes the other way, which it will, which it always does when you give these clowns this sort of control. There used to just be a hard and fast line that you didn't cross.
Yeah.
This crosses a line that changes things, in my opinion, forever.
Yep.
It just does, because you've now set precedent that anytime someone has an opposing view of the government, they can be shut down, and you can look how much insurrection is mentioned now, or coup. When they willy-nilly threw there was no insurrection or coup on January 6th. It got out of control, should have been stopped. It was grotesque, horrible to look at. Insurrection. No one showed up with a fucking weapon, and it was an insurrection, a coup, trying to take over the U.S. government.
Overthrow the government.
Really?
Unarmed.
Wow.
Just a mob.
Good luck with that. Good luck with it. I mean, it's just silly on its face.
Yeah.
And that was no more an insurrection. Now they're calling the truckers an insurrection. These are your blue-collar workers that were heroes a few months ago.
Absolutely.
It's just...
the way the supply chain issues are already, you really want to fuck with our truckers right now?
Yeah, right? You need
You
those
really
guys.
need a nationwide strike of truckers?
Thank you, he says, the guy that's helping Breon or whatever. Thank you to those who have read this and offered to help someone you've never met. Shame on those who have read it and attacked someone you've never met. I will keep working with Breon to resolve this matter with her bank, and will provide updates as they are available. To those of you, especially the media, demanding more details on her, having seen what has been said about her online today and what has been done to other convoy donors in the last weeks, I'm not going to help you dox her. I know who she is, and I won't stop fighting for her. He received a response from Talib Nur Mohammed, MP for Vancouver Granville, who said, from one colleague to another, if this is true and she can provide proof, this is the only reason her account was frozen. I'll personally help you solve this for Breon in confidence. But if not, you agree to unreservedly and publicly apologize. Fair? Excuse me.
Seems fair.
Seems fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you could, I've never heard of someone's bank account being frozen before. Have you?
No, not for something like this.
Right.
I mean, being part of some federal investigation or
right. Some criminal mafia group having their accounts frozen. Yeah. Sure. Terrorist organizations.
No, not anything for donating to something that is and was completely legal.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, you can argue whether they were blocking the road and how much of a crime that qualifies as.
Yeah, but they did open up emergency lanes and stuff like that. So
they just didn't like the message.
Yeah, they
were honking their horns.
Yeah.
And they were making way too much noise.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were they setting fires? Were they were just breaking into stores?
Making too much noise.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just saying something that the Canadian government, and make no mistake, globally, the global elitists didn't like.
Yeah.
So I don't think Blackface would have done this on his own. I think that meeting with Bowl of Soup was important.
Oh, yeah.
In this, getting that backup from him. And who knows from whatever else totalitarian regimes around the world signed on to find this acceptable, find some loophole to punch down on regular Canadian citizens.
Yeah, it seems odd as this is all starting to fall apart. Like I said, these regulations, these mandates, and everything are starting to evaporate.
Yeah,
and now you want to puff up, and it just seems like an odd time.
Yeah,
to make that kind of a stand. Over it.
Canadian trucker Derek Brower said that along with his truck being seized, his personal and business accounts have been frozen since Friday. They've taken my truck, and on Friday they froze my personal accounts and my trucking accounts. They also froze the account for another business he owns that he said has nothing to do with trucks or the protests. Yeah, they've crowdfunding, GoFundMe, Give, Send, Go, that have fueled the protests. They've gone after them. And, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in some courts. Jason Kenney, the premier of the Canadian province of Alberta, announced that he was suing the government of Canada and Prime Minister Blackface for their use of the Emergency Act, calling the move unjustified in these circumstances. Kenney said he was filing a legal challenge in federal court in order to suspend Blackface and the Liberal government's implementation of the act to crack down on the Freedom Convoy protests. But he says the situation in Ottawa is serious. Law and order has to be restored, adding he believed protesters should not be able to blockade the center of any city, much less the nation's capital, for any reason. But the Emergency Act was designed to come into effect at the failure of the state in the event of a coup or insurrection that threatened to topple Canada's democratic institutions. However, this was no insurrection or coup.
No.
Ottawa police have always had the authority to ticket and even to arrest drivers who are parked illegally. Police services already have all the powers they need. All the tools already exist. Pointing out that that's what they did to the Ambassador Bridge in Windsor, Ontario, and other places.
Yep.
Let's stick to basics here, the basics of law enforcement. He took particular issue with the coercive measures imposed on financial institutions by the federal government. Those parts of the Emergency Act that have to do with banking were designed to interrupt terrorism financing, but they are instead being used to seize and freeze the assets of people whose opinions they disagree with. And make no mistake about it, this is what people like Glenn Beck have been talking about for years. When you're talking about a global economy, when you get the World Economic Summit and the global elites meet once a year, when this pandemic was great for them. They see the world in not as countries, but as rule over smaller people. And they want all the global economies to come together and have one banking system. And then at the same, so they sell it by kind of like the insurance company did. Like, oh, if you have we're going to put this thing in your car and monitor your driving. Right? Remember how that played out?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember the crux of it. Like,
Well, it was just something. If you were a safe driver, it saved you 10 or 15% on your shit. But they could just track where you were, how fast you went, how hard you braked, things like that.
Yeah.
They had access to all the information in your car.
Which meant if they could give you a 10 or 15% deduction in rate for grandma driving the speed limit and never going a mile per hour over it, they could also turn that the other direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you were in a hurry and doing 85 on the freeway one day.
Guilty. Every day.
Right. And they're just able to track that. They're not going to tell you that side of it. But this global economy where they're
it's very soon, it won't even, you don't even need that.
Yeah.
These cars are getting so smart and so with the technology they have in them, they're just going to be able to access that information.
Yeah. Probably already do.
Yeah. You're not even going to need cameras and shit like that. Like, it's just going to trigger if you're driving too fast and your speedometer is going to take a picture of your face and spit out a ticket for you.
Yep. They're already doing that in some places. You know, they do that in China. I mean, that's what China does with their credit score, national credit score.
Yeah.
In China, I was
social
talking
credit shit too.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
social justice, local governance, and social decorum. Like in China, I was talking to Jen about this. If you got into an argument with someone at a store, you know what I mean? Like you get into it with a cashier or something, or a taxi driver, docked. If you lend your car to someone, I was like, why do these fucking Chinese people drive like such assholes around here, Jen? He's like, they won't speed, they won't, because they're trained. They know better. Like if you lend your car to someone and they speed, you get the ticket. Shit like that. You get points. It goes on your social credit score, and it denies you banking rights and housing, you know, what mortgages you can get.
Your interest rates and all that shit.
Yeah, all that can be affected by, and so when they talk about...
We're getting there.
Yeah.
You know, we're creeping into that
Yeah.
atmosphere.
They want to own all the property, everything. Have you leasing forever? Have you renting forever? That's why there's been massive buying of properties around the country, overpaying for it. Make you a renter.
Long term.
Yeah,
exactly.
you don't own shit
Overpay
anymore.
for it now, but you can own it forever.
Yep. And the idea of like, hey, wouldn't it be great on your phone? All your banking is done through your phone. All your credit cards are through your phone. All your ID, your passport, it's all through your phone. No big deal. It's awesome. How convenient. Sounds great on its face. What's the flip side?
Yeah.
You have
access to everything.
Or you have a dissenting opinion. They go, fucking shut it
you
off.
down. Yeah.
Shut it off. He can't bank anymore. His mortgage goes into default. He can't buy groceries for his family. What does that do? Are people willing to fight for that? Or they just go, I ain't saying a word. Dude, I don't have the fucking strength to battle that.
Once you get too far down that hill, it's too far to climb back up. That's
Yeah.
why these little battles now make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, a trucker convoy heading to Washington, D.C. Plans to shut down the Capitol Beltway. Right there. Come on, boys.
Come on.
You're holding the line now. It's your turn.
go.
America.
Hold.
What do you stand? Hold. We need you, boys.
Yeah.
You are the fucking backbone of this nation. We stand with you. We're hanging with you. I don't know if I want to donate. They could shut my bank account down. There's nothing in there anyways, right?
Open a dummy account and do it.
Yeah, there you go. They'd trace it back to me and then shut down. Who knows where they'd go? Do they shut down my sister's bank account for being associated with me?
Maybe.
Right? They plan to shut down the Capitol Beltway later this week in protest of issues such as fuel prices, vaccine requirements, and immigration.
Okay.
So they're basically saying, fuck you, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
They're saying, you know, let's go Brandon, basically, is what this is. Bob Bolus, who owns a truck parts and towing business in Scranton, PA.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely area.
That's where the bowl of soup has spent a lot of his life. He told Fox 5 DC that he heard hundreds of people were interested in taking part in shutting down the roadway. I'll give you an analogy of a big giant boa constrictor that basically squeezes you, chokes you, and it swallows you. That's what we're going to do to DC. He said the protest will leave a lane open for emergency vehicles for safety. He couldn't promise commuters they would make it to work on time. We will not compromise anybody's safety or health one way or the other. As far as if they can get to work, geez, that's too bad. Law enforcement at D.C. Said that police are aware of the situation and communicating with local, state, and federal partners. Put your cards on the table.
Yeah.
I want this to go now to put cards on the table. Will the Bowl of Soup administration try to be as draconian as blackface was in Canada?
Probably.
Put the fucking cards on the table. Let's see if democracy exists in America anymore, or if these clowns have the balls to try this shit in America, to try and shut it down like that. I want cards put on the table.
We'll find out. I bet they shut it down.
We all saw what happened with Black Lives Matter. That wasn't 3 weeks. That was fucking months. We all saw what happened. Nothing was shut down. Nobody's bank accounts were seized. Billions of dollars in damage was done. Whether you believe in Black Lives Matter, riots or not, that's not what we're discussing.
Nope.
We're discussing,
Equality.
Arbitrary rule here. When you're talking about arbitrarily using these powers against people in situations. Yeah. Show me the riots. Show me the swastika flags from the Freedom Convoy in Canada. Now, they don't have free speech laws in Canada. Little different.
Yeah.
So, D.C., come on, boys.
We'll see.
Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Step up.
What's their ETA?
Next week.
Next week?
If Bob Bolus is to be believed.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
I saw something come across. Looked like a whole line of trucks. Now, whether or not that was an actual photo from this or some stock photo from somewhere, but it said that the convoy was rolling.
Okay.
But I thought it was in like Ohio somewhere. So.
Yeah, and it could be multiples that meet up.
Yeah, maybe
at a spot. I know they had been talking about March 5th meeting in Coachella,
right.
and then coming to DC on the 6th, starting on the 6th.
Like, could you get any farther away from DC? What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't get
make
that.
Sure, we waste all the gas,
or give them any heads-up warning. You know what I mean? You gave them 2 months to plan.
It's like a caravan from South America.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We're coming. You don't worry. We'll get there one day.
And give them all the opportunity to pull you over from California all the way to D.C.
Yeah, right.
The whole way.
Fuck
Shut it down. Yeah. Yep. Anyway.
Oh, well. Hey.
Yeah, what do you got?
I got this segment brought to you by Mayer and Company Accountants.
I like it.
If you dread bookkeeping and accounting for your business, let Kyle handle it all for you. Kyle is a pro who you can trust. Spend more time on your core business and leave those awful, annoying accounting and bookkeeping tasks to Kyle. Also, if you need someone to handle your personal taxes, Kyle is the guy for that too. Call him today at 734-721-7373 and tell him that TDC sent you to get yourself a nice little 10% off. But you got to say TDC.
Yeah, let them know TDC sent you. Apparently NBC's eating shit for their ratings. For like a $7.5 billion investment in the Olympics.
Yeah.
No.
Not getting it back.
No. Damn shame. Damn shame.
Well,
hate to see that.
Yeah, I can tell.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't into it at all. Even when I tried to sit and get into it a little bit.
We got into a little bit.
A couple events here and there, but overall, couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't tracking the medal counts.
None of it.
On anything.
Nope.
I don't know. There's so much of it just bores me or is... There's so much social justice shit throughout the whole thing.
Except for,
inequality. Right, exactly. And it's just a giant turnoff. I'm sorry, it just is. Yeah. For normal people who just want to sit down and go like, oh, okay, what does the collective world have to offer as far as their top talents in sport? Sit down and watch that. I don't need to be peppered with shit. Yeah. I don't need to be told what an awful person I am. Quit punching down on me and everyone I know. It's embarrassing.
I know it's our Olympics, like our team, so it's totally focused on us. But I gotta believe, they dilute it so bad with all the shit, like trying to make up backstories for all this stuff. I'm making this shit relevant and personal. But most of it's just bullshit. There's a few that were worthwhile listening to. My point of that is that, so around the world, I'm sure there's lots of those stories from other people that have overcome things or where to get to where they're at from. Okay, I understand it's not my country, but I'd like to hear some of those stories. Just spread it around. I don't care about the fucking chick that's going to come in 9th in the fucking snow cross or the fucking biathlon. I don't give a shit, really.
Yeah. Well, she's got no chance to medal in this, but it's great just being here. Okay,
right.
Don't waste my fucking time.
Cut to that bullshit montage of her back in Montana,
in Utah.
Whatever.
Granddad made her a fucking ramp in the backyard. He's a real hero.
Right.
Can we be done? And this is going to be a very unpopular take. And as a cisgendered white male, I get it, but can we please be done with the I'm doing this to show little girls they can be anything they want when they grow up? Like, how many of those fucking stories do we need?
Who said that? Leah Thomas?
All of them.
Oh.
All of them. Leah Thomas. Yeah, Eileen Gu, that's the point of going. Like, little girls know they can do anything they want, relatively speaking. Most of us are just C's. We're just middle of the road C's. In a sea of billions of people, we're just C's.
Yeah.
Not that special, not that fucking great, not that athletic, not that smart. That you just are. You can try and do anything you want, but you're just a C, like me, like T, like most people. We're just C's.
Damn it.
You're a C.
I'm above a C. I'm a C plus.
You're fine.
At least.
I'll give myself.
I might even be a B minus.
No, I'll give you a C plus. I'll let you go as far as C plus. But as far as like the great minds of the world, the greatest athletes of all time, you're barely a C plus.
Oh man.
And I'm a C minus.
Oh my God.
So it is what it is. But you know what? So are 7.8 billion other people.
Yeah.
Fucking C's, D's, and a lot of E's. Yeah. There's very few A's who can do anything they want, and they retain everything, and they know exactly what to say in every moment. Very few of them. You could list them in the thousands globally in a planet of 8 billion people.
But they gotta believe that they can be anything they want.
You know what? I think girls know they can snowboard.
Yeah.
Right? Is there so much oppression in the world, in America?
We're past that at this point, yeah.
Can we stop acting like, oh, we need these super role models? Like, girls can do anything they fucking want.
Yeah, they play football
More
now,
power
apparently.
to them. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Great.
Have at it.
Stop throwing it in my face. Stop it. It's driving me nuts. Joe Rogan Spotify deal. 100 million. We've heard all this.
That was the word all along, yes.
Yeah. Turns out it was more like 200 million plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a $100 million deal, and then with some back end, some incentive things attached to it, or
it's from the New York Times, so take it at face value. New York Times report says that the 3.5-year deal. I always wondered how many years it was, because $100 million sounds like a lot, unless you owe them 100 years.
Yeah.
Right. So 3.5 years. I haven't heard what it was, because those terms matter a lot. If you sign a, you can sign the Michael Jordan deal. Or you can sign the one Pippen signed. Yeah. And sign a 20-year deal for $3 million a year. All of a sudden, it's not such a great deal. Yeah. So apparently, 3.5-year deal is worth at least $200 million, with the potential for additional payments. Rogan's show is their most popular on Spotify in the U.S. and in 93 countries, thanks to the millions of listeners who tune in for every episode.
We're coming for you, Joe.
Oh yeah, right, hot on your heels. Joe Rogan turned down a $100 million 4-year offer from Rumble. No, Spotify has hung in with me inexplicably. Let's see what happens, he said in response. But they've kowtowed to the mob at least, removing 113 episodes. I think they removed 42 episodes before it even started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like when they signed the deal. No. And Rogan said there were a few episodes they didn't want on their platform. I was like, okay, I don't care. Yeah. Whatever.
I'm more about going forward.
Yeah.
And having the ability than what's in the catalog.
Yeah.
And I did see I did a little more reading on that one, that Maynard episode that got pulled.
Yeah.
Because apparently Joe had the N-bomb in that one.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I don't know the context of it. I didn't remember it. I saw bits and pieces of it. I don't think I watched it start to finish.
Yeah.
Not that I can, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere. But
yeah, what was it? Joe Rogan episodes missing, or missing Joe Rogan episode, something like that. Yeah. That has them. We know Neil Young pulled from Spotify.
Was he?
Yep, he did.
Okay.
Pulled all his music because Joe Rogan's misinformation and disinformation, right?
Yeah.
And then David Crosby followed suit, and so did Nash. So Nash, Young, and Crosby all. So you got the CSN catalog gone, Joni Mitchell. And it always seemed weird.
What about Stills?
I think Stills, too. Is he still alive? I don't know. Fucking
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, Crosby's 80, But Crosby did an interview that I was reading, and I think it gives a much clearer picture to what Neil Young's real problem is and what David Crosby is. And I'm sorry, I think these fucking elitists are just jumping on the Joe Rogan bandwagon, using that as an excuse, knowing it would get them
little publicity.
Yep. Had nothing to do with Joe Rogan, no matter what they say.
Sure.
And I'll explain why, and I'll use his own words.
Okay.
When I first wanted to speak with you about this is the interviewer, about the whole Spotify situation, you had all taken down the CSN music off the but your solo music was still on there for a little bit. Crosby says, of course. I had to ask Irving Azoff. He holds my publishing.
Yep.
So he can't take it off there unless these guys sign off on it. Same with Neil Young. Neil Young, I think Warner Music holds his catalog, sold their catalogs.
Can't just arbitrarily.
No, but, so...
Sounds good.
The amazing and really wonderful thing is both Azoff's company, Iconic, and BMG went along with it. They said, if that's what you feel you have to do, we'll go along with it. I was stunned. That's not normal corporate behavior. With me, you have to understand, I don't like Spotify. I don't like any of the streamers because they don't pay us properly. Their proportion is wrong. They're making billions with a B and they're paying out pennies with a P. That is not okay. It's not okay that it took away half my income. And it's not okay in that, especially, it makes it impossibly difficult for young people to make it in this business. It doesn't pay them anything. Make no mistake, he doesn't give a flying fuck about young people in this business at all. He's worried about the fact that he lost half his income.
Yep.
That's what David Crosby's worried about. It's wrong. I don't like Spotify on purpose because of that. I don't like their quality level either. So apparently the quality level's not high enough for Neil Young. So they've dropped the quality so that it's cheaper to stream, and they pay him less.
Yeah.
So these old men are really fucking pissed about this. They bum up the signal pretty badly, but they and all the other streaming services are ripping us off. They're quite happy with it. They have no intention of changing it. Frankly, streaming is the thing of the future. It's not going to keep going this way, but it isn't right, and I don't have to shut up and pretend that it's right because I want their money. I don't want their money.
Yeah, you do. I think so.
I think you wanted their money, and you
just wanted more of it.
Double it. Yeah. It's not that you didn't want their money. You wanted a lot more of it, right? Because you just said that a sentence earlier.
I don't like them because...
half my income's gone. And now you turn around and go, well, I don't want their money. But a second ago you said, I want double my money. So which is it, Cross? I'm not willing to lick their boots because I need their pitiful $1.57 they're paying me. They're not doing the right thing, and in the long run, it'll get them, some kind of karmic thing. I don't know what it'll be, but I hope it's soon. Now, besides that, we come to Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Here's how I feel about it. I think Joe Rogan is not real impressive.
Okay.
But I think he has the right to spew his garbage. He has a right to do it. I think Spotify has a right to put him up there. I absolutely will fight for their right to do that. I have a right to not be associated with it. I told a friend this morning, listen, man, if I was selling my records in a marketplace, I don't want to be selling them next to some spoiled meat unless they pay you what you used to. And then if they sold your album next to human shit, you'd be just fine with it.
Yep.
You don't like the fucking haircut you got, David. That's what this comes down to.
Yep.
Right? That's why I don't want to be on the same platform as Joe Rogan. No.
You don't want to be on that platform because that platform pays you half as much.
What? So here's why he doesn't want. He's calling people the N-word all the time.
Okay, ignorant.
Okay, ignorant as shit. Talk about misinformation.
Yeah.
This story should come with a warning label. You think, David Crosby, that Joe Rogan is calling people the N-word all the time?
All the time.
Okay, that's ignorant. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Nope.
You are uneducated, sir. You are a bitter old man who is extremely uneducated on this.
That's the problem
Joe
with
Rogan,
hit pieces like that are just taken out of context.
Joe Rogan's
blast it.
He's never called anybody the N-word.
Not that ever been accused of.
So he's talking about women as if they're a mouth and a pair of tits.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of comedy does that. Lots of comedy does that. We do that here.
Yeah.
Write us off too. Should they cancel our bank accounts, David? He doesn't really represent me at all, so I don't want to be there with him. That's all I said. I said I'm removing me. I'm not trying to censor him or you. Oh, no. Make no mistake, sir. It's exactly what you were hoping would happen.
You tried.
You tried.
In the first place.
Yeah.
And failed miserably.
Horribly.
So.
You thought CSN, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young at 80 years old were as relevant as they were when they wrote those songs as 20-year-olds. And you found out the hard way that no one gives a fuck about your 80-year-old ass.
Nope.
Sorry.
Barely give a shit about the music.
Yeah. Barely. That's why you're getting paid $1.57.
Yeah.
That's, of course, that's all I said. I'm removing me. I'm not trying to censor him or you. That's, of course, the first thing all his fans said. This is censorship. You used to be a hippie. I still am. I still have the exact same set of values. I just don't want to be associated with that guy. Okay, then explain this to me. Because if Joe Rogan is the measuring stick, right? He's calling people the N-word all the time. He thinks of chicks as just a mouth and pair of tits.
Yeah.
I would say the vagine too is
That would
important.
qualify, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Almost more importantly.
how many times have you performed live, David, on Howard Stern's show? Because I guarantee you he said the N-word a billion times on his show. And how has he treated women over the years?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with how Howard's treated people, but he set the bar.
He did.
Right?
If that's your standard,
Yeah.
then it should equate to everybody.
Shouldn't you be demanding that all the videos of you on Howard Stern's show promoted should be removed? I mean, I would think you would want your music off of Sirius and XM
You would think so.
because of Howard Stern. I mean, if we're talking about, again, arbitrary use of the rules.
Not exactly apples to apples.
Right. So pull it off XM and Sirius too. That would make a real stand. That would be principled. If you went,
No. Howard Stern's not the problem. It's Joe Rogan.
It's Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan is the problem.
Is it?
Yeah, because Howard Stern's numbers are piss fuck compared to Rogan's too.
Yeah, they are. Not piss fuck, but they're down and dropping. Yeah. If they removed him, would you want to put your music back on Spotify? Good question. It's a great follow-up question. No, I don't want to be in there. I don't like them, and their quality's lousy, and their pay scale's lousy, and I don't want anything to do with them.
Okay.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with Joe Rogan.
Nope.
You just use that because it
Was
makes sense. Good move,
smart. Yeah,
business-wise.
exactly.
Tie yourself
Take
to
the
the...
biggest thing going right now.
Yeah.
And somehow associate your name with that. The oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, you just took you
Marketing
decided
101.
take a rocket ship to the moon, and the only rocket ship available to you was to arbitrarily, ignorantly attack Joe Rogan.
They probably got about a 2-week bump
Yeah.
in their music shit, and it
Sure.
went right back to the
Yeah,
bottom.
people listen to "Old Man, Take a Look at My Life. I'm a lot like you" for a day.
Yeah.
That's the problem with when these radio stations pop up, and it's like, we're going back to the 90s, all 90s, all the time. And it's like you listen for a day and a half, and it's like, this is fucking awesome. After a week, it's like,
It's the same goddamn song.
it's the same shit. It's the same fucking 40 hits that I heard 8 billion times 20 years ago. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Neil Young did this. CSN did this. Joni Mitchell did this. Were you disappointed in not become more widespread? No. I wasn't trying to start something.
Okay.
There's other people. Nils Lofgren. Yeah, good one. Good name to mention.
Sorry, who?
Who? And some other people I respect strongly did the same thing. There's a few of us who are bothered by the situation enough to where we don't accept their pittance they're paying us in order to keep silent.
Oh, nothing to do with Joe.
No, you went streaking like Will Ferrell in Old School. Who's with me? And you
Right.
found yourself running nude down the street with Nils Lofgren and Joni Mitchell. Okay?
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. Will Ferrell at the start of that scene thought the whole fucking fraternity house was running naked down the street with him.
Yep.
We're making a statement. That's what these guys thought.
That's great.
They thought all the young artists, all the
Yeah.
Lizzos were going to jump on board, demand their shit be pulled down. They'd be relevant again, right back in the mix. And no one went streaking with them.
Okay.
You're just sitting out there with a limp, cold, fucking shriveled dong and a gut.
You're on your own, old man.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
We'll get you on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll catch up with you. Keep going. I was trying to be grateful that I could still go out and play live, he says, and pay the rent, take care of my family. Then along comes COVID. And I couldn't do that either. That's why I sold my publishing to Irvin. I didn't want to sell my publishing, man. Other artists like Bruce Springsteen and Dylan have done that. Do you feel okay with it now? It's okay for now. I'm going to run out of money in a couple of years, and then I'll have to sell my house. That's just how that is. I can't do shit about it. I can't play live anymore. I'm 80 years old, and I'm very fragile health-wise. I can't change the marketplace. They're making the money, and they're not going to change that. They're not going to suddenly develop a sense of moral responsibility. They're scummy people. What do you tell younger artists you work with how to navigate this? Don't become a musician. You know how shitty it is for me to say that. You know how much I don't want to say that. Some kid who has talent, I don't want to say that to them. And that is the truth. I don't hold out any hope at all. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'd say the ones that make it now are making fucking shit bags of money.
yeah, sure they are.
Yeah.
Just like he was back in the day.
Yep.
And I don't know what he
At
sold
the
his
time.
catalog for. Here's the thing, though. You know, this is a guy who was almost dead, drugged and drunk himself for life. No judgment,
Yeah.
whatever. He got gifted a new liver, new lease on life.
Yeah.
Probably, I can't say for sure, but wouldn't be shocked if someone like David Crosby would cut the line or have someone on the inside bump him up the line because he's an icon.
Yeah.
He's David Crosby. So someone got fucked on a liver that he got.
Sure.
Taking advantage of the system, be my guess. And he's 80. I looked up his net worth. I don't know what it is. They say 10 million. If you're 80 years old, you've lived the life that this cat's lived. You're on borrowed time as is.
Yeah.
You're going to be broke and have to sell your house. Do you know what that sounds like to an average American? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot.
I mean, Troy, if I gave you $10 million right now, couldn't you survive the rest of your life on that?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit that comes along with that stuff too. But
yeah, but don't you think? I mean, if you were 80 and I gave you $10 million, do you think you could make it to the finish line?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh definitely.
And I think most rational Americans would feel like, yeah, if I was 80 and, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, those guys haven't had, I mean, they're living just on residuals. I mean, aside from how much have they really toured in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
And even when they did tour, what are they really grossing?
Yeah.
It's not like they're putting out new music. It's all just on what they did. They're living on what they did 50 years ago.
Yeah. But people like Dylan sold his catalog for $300 million.
Yeah, well, that was Dylan.
Right. Crosby, Stills, and Nash probably sold theirs for $150 million. I mean, it's CSNY. I mean, there's money there.
Yeah.
The point is, those guys have opportunities and have reaped the rewards of their careers for a lifetime. And now it's becoming clear this guy had no interest in taking Spotify down, except I don't even think it's the fucking quality of the sound, right? I don't think they give a shit about that. Pay me. This was pay me. And if we have to try and take this company down on the back of Joe Rogan, we'll do that. Pay me.
Yeah.
I'm 80 and miserable. I can't tour anymore. Pay me.
Yeah. Well, there's something to it, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's what keeps coming back around is how they're not paying their fair share.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not. I don't know exactly how that all shit works.
Of course they're not.
But Pandora, Apple Music, I don't know how that stuff all
Yeah.
works on.
It used to be a top 10 song would cover your bills for a lifetime. Like you would get residuals on that paid you upwards of $750,000 a year if you had a hit song.
Yeah.
When Jewel and Steve Poltz wrote, Everything About You or whatever, that should pay them for life. And the fact is, when streaming came along, that shit was done. Vinny wrote a hit song in Plowed.
Yeah.
And that paid him a lot of money for a lot of years, and now it doesn't pay shit. And so a lot of these artists that were on this kind of gravy train
Used to getting X, and now it's dwindled down.
and getting a lot. When that shit was played, all over the country all the time, or picked up and played in a movie or a TV show. I mean, they'd get huge residuals that they're just not getting nowadays. So I imagine that sucks for them. And if streaming comes along and can figure out a way to just pay them pennies on the dollar, I get it. I don't like your tactics.
No, that's true. But I mean, I guess it's I don't know how you diversify across all the platforms. I mean, sure, if Spotify, but then there's also if they only paying you, but a percentage.
They apparently pay less than all the others,
Oh,
like Apple Music,
it's not just
Pandora.
like across the board that they all pay less. It's Spotify specifically.
Pays less than all the others.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Knowing is half the battle.
It is. The more you know, T.
Exactly. Hey, you have an annual physical to make sure that you're healthy? What do you do to make sure that you remain financially fit? Huh? You need a hit song to make sure that
There you go.
Mark and Jay at LPL Financial specialize in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call them today at 248-626-2000 and ask for either Mark or Jay.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Speaking of the streaming services, Netflix,
Yeah.
giant streamer, announced on Friday that it was coming out with 4 new comedy specials with Dave Chappelle
Excellent.
that Chappelle will executive produce and host.
Excellent.
So that doesn't make it sound like it's him doing stand-up. Maybe he's part of it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deals are. I assume it's going to be him or he's in some variation.
Yeah.
I don't see him being the MC of a show.
Well, he could if he's looking out for his buddies, which is what it sounds like a little bit. It's called, the series of specials is dubbed Chappelle's Home Team, and each will feature a different comic introduced by Chappelle. The first to be featured is Earthquake.
Okay.
All right. And a special called Earthquake Legendary premieres on February 28th. Another special will spotlight Donnell Rawlings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Donnell was on the show with him.
The Chappelle Show.
Yeah. What did he play? He wasn't the one that
No, he wasn't
danced.
he wasn't the dancing guy.
Yeah.
No, he was a younger, kind of chubby face.
Yeah, Ashy Larry.
Ashy Larry, exactly. I was trying
Yeah.
to think of one of the characters.
Yeah,
but
I just see him in white powder, Ashy Larry.
I'm rich, biatch.
Yeah, that was Donnell, wasn't it? Yeah. I've been doing this a long time, and comedians like Quake and Donnell are not only friends, but have inspired my own career. Anyone in the comedy community knows these names and knows their time to shine is long overdue. I'm proud to be part of this moment. I don't know if that'll generate what they think it will.
Well,
Donnell Rawlings special. I mean, you could just
depends on how good it is. If he comes
Yeah.
out and kills, he might. And
Yeah.
having Chappelle attached to it will at least
can't hurt.
channel some traffic that way.
Yeah,
And people that know, I like Donnell. I've never seen a stand-up, but
yeah,
I don't know anything about Earthquake either. But if he's backing him, I'll give him a shot.
Yeah.
And that's says it all.
yeah.
If there's a half dozen schmoes on the comedy specials on Netflix now, I wouldn't even bother fucking stopping to look at, just because
Yeah.
I don't know him. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not part of my time. But
Donnell, I find he's all right.
you seen his stand-up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen Donnell a little bit. I've seen him in a lot of skits. He's fine.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Well, skits are different.
Yeah.
That's
true. Chappelle is a generational talent. Like he's on Mount Rushmore of comedians.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Joe Rogan there. There's a
No,
million
not
comedians I wouldn't put there.
No, of course not.
But so Netflix to make a big announcement, Chappelle's name, and it's like Donnell Rawlings. Like I don't know. We watched Michael Che's newest special from a year ago.
Yeah.
Put it out in 2021. Thought it was great.
It was good. Yeah.
All about race.
Yeah.
Just race. That's it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But I appreciated hearing his points and hearing his take on things. I'm not above, my side's always right or my opinion means more. No, it was cool to hear a guy that you could tell thought a lot about these topics and was funny. He had the jokes in there. You liked it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know if Donnell Rawlings is the kind of guy that's or Earthquake. It's going to bring that. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
Do you
Who
know
knows?
Earthquake?
No, I just said that. No,
Oh,
don't
I'm
know
sorry.
anything about it. It's okay.
I think I've talked to Newberg about him, I want to say, and he says he's hilarious, but
Well, we'll find out.
we'll find out.
We'll see. The special's about to drop.
Feb 28th, it's coming right up.
Just a few more days, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God. Last week, the Sacramento Bee reported that the Sacramento City Unified School District was investigating racist graffiti written over a water fountain at C.K. McClatchy High School, noting the message was a throwback to segregation, Jim Crow.
Whites only?
The perp wrote colored over one side of a dual water fountain and white over the other.
Oh, yeah. That's not okay.
That's a callback.
Yeah, that
No doubt
definitely
about
is.
it.
No, definitely is.
After the picture of this graffiti spread over social media, activists quickly expressed outrage. Even though, let's see, before any suspects had been identified, Superintendent Jorge Aguiar commended the act. I am both angry and heartsick that racist graffiti was discovered on the campus today. We take this incident very seriously. Racism and racist language will not be tolerated in our schools. News of the incident prompted a black father to claim there's something about our culture in Sacramento that has to be addressed. The inequities, the performance of black kids, the racism, it has to stop. Activists piled on. Barry Ashius, founder of the nonprofit Voice of Youth, demanded the school district take the incidents more seriously. This is simply enactment of the 1950s in 2022. More hateful images and racist rhetoric. Until these schools adopt a more zero-tolerance policy on racist behavior, there will be others bold enough to attempt more racist acts. I agree.
Yeah.
You got to take a stand.
Yes, you do.
You can't put up with racist language like that scrawled on the stuff at all.
No.
So the problem is there was surveillance video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so what do you think? Yeah.
Thinking it might have been a black guy?
No, you'd be wrong.
Okay.
It wasn't a black guy. It was a young black girl.
Young black girl.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Go, girl, go.
Okay.
She was caught on camera doing it and then admitted to it.
Okay.
So now with a statement like that, more hateful images, let's see, until these schools adopt a more zero tolerance policy on racist behavior, there will be others bold enough to attempt more racist acts. Mm-hmm. And then the video surveillance came out.
Yeah.
And the confession came out.
Zero tolerance.
So now they've got to backtrack on this.
Why?
So if we're calling for
Zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance.
What are they backtracking for shit?
Look what I wrote. Agreed.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance. I love it.
Absolutely.
Now they have to say, I don't believe those words that were on the water fountains were racist.
The fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck are they not?
I do not believe they were hate crime or hate speech.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Part of it, quite honestly, is because the admitted perp is a young African-American woman.
Oh, well, at least you're owning it.
Yeah.
But listen, it can still be fucking racist.
Yeah.
It's still wrong. It's still vandalism.
Yeah.
Zero tolerance.
And it got international headlines. Mm-hmm. So it makes the school district look like shit. It makes the people involved look like shit. And it also encourages this behavior in the future until you start really smacking people. So the reason they're saying, I don't believe it's hate speech, blah, 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 because then you'd have to follow through and go, zero tolerance.
It was absolute hate speech and racism before you knew anybody that did it.
Yeah. These people would get sick of getting burned.
You would think.
You know what I mean? Like, there just aren't many that many white kids running around doing
Why can't they just stand up and go, yeah, sorry, zero tolerance?
Yeah.
It's across the board.
She's suspended for a week.
Whatever the appropriate punishment is for this. If it was a white kid, it probably wouldn't have been suspended. It probably would have been expelled.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And they
eye
probably
for an
would
eye,
have
apple for apple.
They would have brought federal hate crime charges down on a white kid. If they found out that was a white cisgendered male, and I'm not being a smartass, they would have filed federal hate crime charges against him and expelled him from school.
True.
That's a fact. So if you're going to have that standard, again, if we have a two-tier justice system that is willing to go, well, since it was a black girl and blacks can't be racist, this wasn't racist.
So we can get past the fact that more than just white people can be racist in this country. We got a real fucking problem.
I mean, you wrote white people and colored on the fucking water fountain. What did you think was going to happen, little black girl? What message were you trying to send?
What was the point of it? Did she even, in her admission, did she come up with a reason why she did it? Did she hate whites and didn't want them drinking out of the same drinking fountain as her?
Maybe.
Just curious.
I think she wanted to stir shit.
But wouldn't that qualify as a hate crime?
Sure it would.
If that was what your point was?
So other activists raised doubts about the student's confession.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. That's where they're going. When you talk about digging your heels in on something,
right?
Even though surveillance footage caught her in the act, rather than teaching students not to perpetuate hoaxes, the school district announced it would focus more on social justice issues.
Damn it.
Including anti-racism training for staff and a social emotional learning approach.
Oh, my God.
The incident didn't happen. So you're playing off this fake incident.
Yep. That didn't happen.
To shove more of this nonsense down people's throats. It's just, we are living...
The end of times, man. The end of times. End of rationality.
It was a prank that went sideways in my characterization of what the young woman said in her confession. It should be a moment for our community to come together and make sure this doesn't destroy this person's life. Yeah, let's extend her the olive branch.
Well, yeah, my God.
We don't know why she did it. This is not a situation that is the same as an overt, deliberate move to do something that is racist, destructive, negative. It's not.
It wasn't?
How please explain. You can't just make that bold statement.
I'd like a follow-up question, Your Honor.
Yeah.
How in the fuck is it anything but?
So it's not an overt, deliberate move to do something racist, destructive, and negative.
Okay.
Etc.
Okay. Then what was it? There is no answer.
Yeah, but no one's going to push back.
No, exactly.
Just go, oh, thank you for your comment. Walk away.
Yeah.
I've been practicing law for 40 years. People typically don't confess to things they didn't do unless they're under duress or coercion. And nobody has claimed that. Not her, not her family. There's video corroborating her confession.
Oh, it's open and shut.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. And you know, and then someone jumps out and says, well, why is it when you find something like this, we find the black students quicker than we find the white students?
Oh, my God. Because there's fucking video.
Yeah.
Moron. There was video
Yeah.
of it. Fuck.
And look
Oh,
at
I
all,
fucking hate people.
look at all these people standing outside the school with their signs.
Oh, what's that? What do they say?
Go ahead.
Not in my backyard. End anti-black hate. No room for hate. Stand for love. Stand for unity. And I can't read the rest. Yeah, I agree with all those.
So do I.
All
Isn't that
of them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Us far extreme alt-right voices.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at the level of lame excuses.
Yeah.
Well,
Trip over themselves. Yeah, but
how can we find the guilty black faster than the white?
Yeah.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, usually you can't find the guilty white because they didn't do it.
Oh, it was racism from the white supremacy that made this girl feel like she had to
Right.
do that.
Right.
Yes, somehow it'll come back to white supremacy. Has to.
Yeah. We've got a Oklahoma Democrat congressional candidate has apologized. She got shit-faced shouting at schoolgirls at a Valentine's Day sleepover.
Oh boy, like it was like her kids.
It's kind of hot too. I think she brought her daughter over, and there were like 7, 8 girls there. Right. But it was another like girlfriends having the party.
Yeah.
And so the mom was like, "Hey, why don't you come over? We'll have a glass of wine."
Gotcha. Yep. Too many.
That can lead to dangerous places. Abby Broyles was invited over to a friend's house to share a drink while the friend's daughter enjoyed a slumber party with 7 other middle school girls.
Oh, they're the biggest cunts at that age. Oh,
Are they? Why?
Oh, that 13 middle school.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but they're fucking monsters.
Really?
Middle school girls, absolute cunts.
Okay.
I swear to God, every fucking one of them.
Really?
Yeah. And so whoever you're listening right now in middle school, you were a cunt. You know it.
Okay. So she apparently became absolutely shit-faced over the course of the evening and threw up in a laundry basket and a little girl's shoe.
Oh, jeez. Okay. It's a bad start.
Originally, of course, politician fiercely denied even being at the party. Excuse me. Before admitting she had been there and was deeply sorry.
I just
for
don't
her
remember
actions.
being there.
Right. She said she had wine and sushi with her friend, who then gave her a sleeping pill to help her deal with anxiety.
Oh, fuck. The Ambien excuse.
Yeah.
So good.
She claimed she had a bad reaction to the drug, which made her hallucinate, black out, and unable to remember what happened that night.
So good. I'm telling you, I get that script just so I have it on hand.
Yeah.
Just so I can always say, there it was. Yeah.
So,
This is 9 years old. I know, but I took that pill yesterday.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So apparently there are multiple reports from the girls and the other mother that was there. She hurled multiple insults at the preteen girls, including acne fucker,
Jeez.
Hispanic fucker,
Oh, my gosh.
yep, and judgy fucker.
Oh, that's not knowing their names. You
Yeah.
acne fucker, Hispanic fucker, and you little judgy little fucker.
That probably means the third girl went, "I think you've had enough." She went, "Judgy fucker." Don't you think you've had enough sushi, wine, and Ambien for the night? Shut up, judgy fucker. Stay out of it, Hispanic fucker.
Where's the video of this when we need it?
I know, right?
Where's their in-home camera?
Acne fucker was probably recording it. She
Yeah.
probably deleted it. Broyle's friend brought all the girls to tears, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something.
Yep. Broyle's friend, whose daughter was having the party, confirmed the Democrat. I love how they have to throw in she's a
You
Democrat.
got to know what letter you're on.
Yeah, it's a D. Which means there won't get much press outside of shows like this on this. This will come and go quick.
Oh, yeah. And it's okay. She got a little saucy. She didn't do anything really wrong.
Yeah, she didn't hit anyone.
Yeah. Didn't
She might
kill
stumble
anybody.
with the Hispanic fucker.
Yeah.
Judgy fucker's fine. I think you can call a kid judgy fucker, but acne fucker's bullying.
That's punching down. Yeah.
Hispanic fucker
that's
is that racist or because Hispanic fucker you didn't point out.
You didn't say, you speck, you
Yeah.
wetback, you
Yeah.
whatever, like real derogatory term.
Right.
But yeah, I'm more offended by the fucker part, I think.
So the friend said this Democrat had created an incident of the kind of magnitude that I needed to make phone calls to every parent the next day to discuss one-on-one. Instead of helping me sleep, I hallucinated. I don't remember anything until I woke up or came to, and I was thrown up in a hamper. I want to say I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. I apologize for any hurt or damage or trauma that my behavior, when I didn't know what I was doing, caused. I'm deeply sorry.
Could have gotten into some of that bad sushi, some of that escalar.
Yeah.
Fuck you up.
She also said, by the way, I don't have a problem with alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see her still drinking, it's like, no, I explained.
Yeah. That was the Ambien.
Yeah.
Smart. Fucking smart.
Or sleeping pill.
Yeah, well,
Quite
exactly.
Ambien.
Yeah.
Sarah Matthews, whose 12-year-old daughter was at the party, said Broyles verbally and emotionally abused the group of 12 to 13-year-olds. For someone who pontificates to be undyingly pro-woman, I am disgusted by your behavior and find it appalling you couldn't understand why their parents are angry. Your vile, cruel, and bigoted behavior should not be excused or swept under the rug. Not only did you scare and traumatize these beautiful girls with your words, you ruined a pair of their shoes with your vomit.
Just pile it on.
Yeah. Which she saved up to buy with her own money.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's going to get a new pair of shoes out of that.
Yeah. Considering how much you bragged about how rich and successful you are to these children, surely you can afford to replace her shoes.
Yeah, and then some, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
But, yeah. She's totally wrong there, but, yeah, middle school girls is just...
Cunty anyways.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a tough batch.
Going back to the Olympics really quick.
Okay. So, the closing ceremonies last night?
I don't know.
I don't know. Or do they do that, like, today?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Don't know. Really don't care.
Didn't give a shit about the opening ones. Don't care about the closing.
Nope. Didn't watch a second of the opening ceremonies. But that finish, cross-country skier.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about it? Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's tragic.
He's been pictured several times training in his underwear. He suffered a frozen dick.
Frozen dick.
It's like a frozen banana.
Yeah. I thought when I first saw that come across, I read it, and in my head, it said broken, not frozen.
Ooh.
And that's why I was like, dude broke his dick. How you break a dick?
Because that would be a limp dick.
And then, yeah, unless
think
you were
you're-
really excited about what you're doing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the frozen dick, that might be worse.
Yeah. Can only imagine. It was a 50-kilometer race, which took place in minus 17 degrees. Remy Lindholm was forced to use a heat pack at the end of the race to thaw out his dong and balls after spending just under an hour and 16 minutes on the course in howling, freezing winds.
What? Hour and 16 minutes to go 50 kilometers?
Yeah.
So what's that? Like 60 miles?
No.
Something like that? Kilometers?
Kilometers are almost close to miles, aren't they?
It's not that close. I mean, I can't remember if it's 40 miles or 60 miles or something like that. I mean, it's close.
Yeah. It's
But-
around there.
So an hour? All right. I was just trying to figure out how fast those fucking guys are going on cross-country skis.
It was one of the worst competitions I've been in. It was just battling through. When the body parts start to warm up after the finish, the pain was unbearable. So once he put that heat pack on his dick.
Oh, my God. Like full-on frostbite?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, man.
It's the second time it's happened to him. Yeah.
You'd think he'd learn.
Yeah.
Put a little fucking those little hand warmers down your pants.
Yeah.
Put a sock over it. Something.
Anything.
Anything.
Right?
Yeah.
Some,
A pair of underwear, maybe.
yeah.
Probably go a long way.
What's the heat?
Long
rub?
johns?
No, the heat rub.
Oh, like Ben Gay stuff? Or like
yeah.
the Tiger Balm. That shit'll
Yeah,
light you
Tiger
up.
Balm. There you go. The orange one. Get the orange Tiger Balm.
Yeah.
Throw that on there. You'll be fine.
Oof.
So it happened to him in Finland last year. The thin suits and underlayers worn by racers offer little protection from the harsh conditions, but competitive cross-country skiers usually manage to keep warm by generating body heat as they race. That's what I would think. Like
You would think.
if you've ever played in really cold weather, whether it's football or soccer,
Yeah.
we the seasons would overlap. We'd have some of those games where it was still snow on
Yeah,
the
not
ground.
17 below, but
No,
Yeah.
true, but you do generate heat where once you start, like the guys on the sidelines, you worry about them, but the starters that are running the whole time, you would think a guy fucking in sprint mode,
you would think.
he would be able to keep warm.
Also not wearing spandex.
yeah,
Got a little more protection. And we
Yeah.
wore cups back then.
yeah. I didn't wear cups playing soccer.
No.
No,
We had to.
football we had to.
Yeah.
yeah, to make you knock on it,
Yeah.
prove it was on. He was in an interview in Finnish. Lindholm was told to speak to fellow cross-country skier Ristomati Hakola, who wears special thermal pants to protect his dick and balls.
Smart. Yeah, there you go.
So they're like, would you talk to him about how to deal with this injury? Stop freezing your
Yeah,
dong
this
off.
is the second time. That's the biggest problem. It's the
Yeah.
second time you froze your dick off.
Yeah.
There should never, ever, ever be a second time.
No.
It's bad enough to have a first time.
Agreed.
To freeze your dick.
Don't you think you would in practice runs, in really cold weather, do one run the way you normally do it, and then throw a little tiny bikini fucking helper on there and see how much time you lose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta know. I can't imagine it's really shaving that much time.
And if you go, you know what, I lost 12 seconds by wearing these, it's like, okay, maybe it's worth freezing your dick off. My guess is you don't lose shit.
Wouldn't think so.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he almost lost his dick.
oh, that'd be a terrible way. Lose that dick at the Olympics.
Oh man, it just like falls off, like shatters.
Yeah, it's like frozen. What's that? Dry ice.
Yeah.
Put your hand in that shit, and just break it right off like glass. I was watching the ice dancers. You know, Tanith Belbin's a friend.
Yep.
And she's calling the Olympics and won silver a few years ago. Was that Sochi or one of those? I can't remember. So I've kind of gotten a better respect for ice dancing. You know, I always think of her when I watch it and stuff. I was watching Timothy LeDuc, the first openly gay non-binary athlete to compete in the Winter Olympics, meaning it does not identify as male or female.
The giant dude with a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hold on. Help me understand this. I'm trying to be more woke on some of these topics. So if you don't identify as male or female, but you identify as gay, meaning you're attracted to the opposite sex, how does that work?
It doesn't actually.
Right? Am I crazy?
No, you just check too many fucking boxes, bro.
Yeah.
You check too many.
So in order to be attracted to the opposite sex, you have to admit to being one of the sexes so that you can be attracted to the opposite sex.
You would have to be non-binary pansexual.
Okay, now you're just making words
No,
up.
I think that's how that would have to work.
Well, why wouldn't they say
Or you
that?
could, well,
He doesn't identify as male or female.
Right.
So what category is that? Non-binary.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's gay,
Okay.
and he's openly gay,
So he only likes binary.
which means what?
I don't know either one. I don't know. They have to be They have to be binary to be or no.
But
no,
I would think to identify.
No, it only likes gay likes the same, so it would have to be only non-binary. If you were non-binary and straight, you would have to be binary, and then if you're non-binary and you're gay, you only like other non-binary people.
But he's openly gay, so
yeah, but gay is
he
attracted
likes
to the same.
dick. He doesn't like vagine. He's not openly gay.
Well, gay is
non-binary who likes vagine.
Dykes are gay.
No, he's getting bonus points for being openly gay, right? We can admit his Q rating is way higher by being openly gay. So if you're openly gay as a dude with a beard, that means you like dick. A lot of dick.
I would think so.
I'll get you some of that dick. You want this dick. You could take this dick. It has nothing to do with vagine. So then how do you at the same time come out as non-binary, meaning you don't identify as male or female, but you can still be openly gay?
I do have questions. I'm a little confused by it.
He's 6'1", rocking that beard.
Yeah.
Goes by they, them pronouns and claims he's trying to break through gendered stereotypes within figure skating to achieve authenticity.
So can we go full Blades of Glory on this now?
Yeah.
If we can just have two non-binary and just have dudes just chucking dudes all fucking yeah.
One giant dude chucking a small dude who still has dude qualities.
Yeah, whatever.
And could do
Yeah,
fucking
Johnny Chan, right? They could just outskate the shit out of all those guys.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Weir.
Yes.
Or what's the guy
Johnny
this
Weir.
year?
Michael Chen. No, Michael Chen. Something Chen.
Something like that.
Michael Chen.
I don't know.
Yeah, who kicked ass.
They all look like me.
Hold on, by the
All
way.
little skaters.
Are we really having trouble breaking through gendered stereotypes within figure skating?
Yeah, right. I'd be surprised if we weren't like be the first straight
Yeah.
figure skater to come out.
Tanith's partner, Ben, right?
Yeah.
Tanith's husband, Charlie, white, straight guys. I would think there's a shit ton of dudes who throw on those leotards and sequins and prance around on the ice that are fucking severely openly gay.
Most
Not in a bad way.
Johnny Weir,
Yeah.
like the gayest person on earth.
Yeah. So I think, LeDuc, you're giving yourself too much credit for shattering ceilings that have been shattered.
I think it's more the non-binary than the gay.
Okay.
That's the first openly non-binary.
But if said it, no one had heard of him until he claimed that.
But isn't it supposed to be? Well, you could say that about a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what I was going to say. But if it's supposed to be, if it's pairs, it's supposed to be a man and a woman.
Right.
But
he's not a man or a woman.
Then he doesn't qualify, in my opinion.
Stop calling him he. It's they.
They, shit, dead name. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, them. And they don't qualify. They need to find a new sport.
Yeah.
Because they don't check that box. They check too many other boxes.
They should have been disqualified when they walked in the door, when they went, I'm not a man or a woman. So I'm like, well, this is competition for man and woman.
Yeah. Sorry.
Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Pairs.
We've all been socialized in the same way to believe there is a man and a woman, and everybody is going to fit neatly into those categories. So I am learning with everyone else. I understand there is a need to take time out to explain and help everyone understand, but I'm willing to do it, and I'm happy to do it because I know it helps push the conversation forward and makes the paths of other queer and non-binary people coming into the sport maybe a little easier. So you've had this problem getting the gay into figure skating? Hold on, I just want to make sure I read that right.
Yeah.
The real struggle and problem has been...
This isn't hockey. This is...
Right.
Yeah. And that's probably how you got your start.
Right.
Like, ooh, this is way too rough for me.
Listen to this explaining of this stuff. Like, it just... Gender is more an internal sense of self as a man, woman, both, or neither. Okay. Gender expression can be an extension of that, but it doesn't always have to be. Yes, I have a beard, but in competition, I wear makeup. And for me, as my experience with gender, I portray parts of masculinity and manhood, but I also feel a connection to femininity. And it's just the process of letting that out and letting people see that. Nobody has a problem nowadays letting that out.
So that's an effeminate male, then?
Yeah.
No, just checking.
So what you're saying is anytime you see a tomboy growing up, they're non-binary.
Yeah.
Because they show some masculine traits.
Exactly.
Right?
Fuck.
I think people will focus too much on the physical characteristics.
Like a dick?
Like a dick hanging out of your sequined... Focus too much on gender binary and the sex binary, but what we know from science is people exist out of those binaries, both in sex and gender. Is that what science
is?
It's
the science.
You're going to lean on the science?
Follow the science on that one. Exactly. Again.
I just...
Yeah. All right.
And you think people focus too much on physical characteristics and sounds like one person in this conversation is focusing entirely too much on this.
Mm-hmm. Science.
He's going to lean on the science play? Really?
Science has taught us that actually, I think that's the opposite.
What we know from science is people exist out of those binaries, both in sex and gender. Okay, if you're talking about a hermaphrodite, maybe you could have the argument.
Yeah.
But don't take the 1 in a billion case and make that your primary argument. That doesn't work. You don't take the freak in society. You don't take the baby born with 4 fingers, 8 fingers, and 8 toes and go... This throws the whole thing into the idea that humans are born with 10 fingers and 10 toes.
No idea how many toes and fingers you could have.
Yeah, how can you claim that? This baby over here was born with only 8 fingers and 8 toes.
Not everybody should carry the flag. This guy might need to just sit down and shut up a little bit.
Yeah. And so at that point, if that's your argument, science would prove, because one baby was born with 8 fingers and 8 toes, that humans are not born with 5 fingers, 5 toes. It's a spectrum. What? Dude, win a fucking gold medal before you start popping off anyways. Don't come in 6th place and try and run on this. I don't know where they finished, but I don't think they medaled.
No.
But you want all this. His figure skating partner, Ashley Kane Gribble, say they're taking on figure skating norms together. She noted that she's 5'6". Okay. Listen to how
that's a
absurd this
big
is.
for a
5'6".
Yeah.
Okay, Beth was 5'7". Okay, she's a normal woman. My sister's 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
Normal. Your sister, how old is that? Your sister?
She's 6'6".
6'6", right? She's a vanilla gorilla herself. She noted that she's 5'6", which is generally tall for a female. I've had a lot of people tell me I shouldn't be in this sport because of the way my body is shaped. But this is my body and this is who I am. And it was really hard to accept that for a long time. It has taken me a long time to get where I am and loving my body. And it's not every day. I still have struggles. And then there are gender roles in the sport. Did you see her, by the way?
No.
Smoking body.
I bet.
Like,
it's a figure skater. There's not one that doesn't have a little rock body on her.
yeah. Her ass is like, I don't want to talk about a young chick's ass. It's gross because I'm an old man. I get it. But this idea.
Nice.
It was nice.
I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad at it, and she was flaunting it. The idea that a 5'6" woman in premier physical shape, smoking body, is like, oh my God, the trials and tribulations of me. People told me I shouldn't even skate. I had to get through that. Like, stop it.
You don't know her story. She could have eating disorders. She could struggle with her weight her whole life to try and keep that ass so tight.
And it's so tight and so tiny. And you're like, okay, you're a premier athlete globally, and yet you're a victim.
Yeah.
And
Me.
bearded guy over here is a fucking victim too. You guys are just smashing all these
glass ceilings. Look out.
Unwritten glass ceilings and laws. Yeah, you're really stepping up, dude.
Oh, yeah. No,
Stop
me. That's what it's all about.
All it's about.
Ridiculous. I wonder what these people would do with real struggles.
I don't know. It's not good, though.
Probably not.
California child molester, Hannah Tubbs.
Oh, is that the teacher?
No, I believe
I thought
Hannah
that was
went by Will.
I thought that was the cum cakes one. She got like years.
Oh, the one jacking off in the cookies?
Yeah, that used her husband's cum or whatever made the cupcakes.
Yeah.
Like years.
Really?
Yeah, sentence.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
We did that story years ago. Couple cum stories. One was the flute.
Yeah.
Where the guy was
yeah.
putting cum on the flute,
Yeah.
letting the kids play it, and then snickering away. But yeah, that cookies and cupcakes one was great.
Yeah.
The flute one I loved because I believe one of the kids came home with his flute and his mom played it and went, "Oh my God, that's a dead ringer for cum. I know that taste."
Right.
Like, she was so familiar.
That's how she gave it away.
That's how the story busted open. Was mom went, "Oh, that's cum." I was like, "Geez, Mom, how did you know
girl?
that?" Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Mad respect for game loves game, right?
Definitely.
It's like, all right, girl. But then I came in a jar and had two flutes and made Eric play both of them, and he couldn't tell which one was cum.
No?
No.
Oh, all right.
He played them both, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that moment, but it happened. So, L.A. jailhouse recordings of Hannah Tubbs, 26-year-old trans child molester, who received a slap on the wrist last month after pleading guilty to molesting a 10-year-old girl back in 2014.
Okay.
She has nice short haircut, fucking beard, goatee type thing. Total dude. Yeah. I mean, this is a mockery of the system, is what it is.
Yep.
This is doing what I said I would do. If I got caught up in some horrific thing, I would claim to be trans in hopes of going to the women's facility.
Yeah.
Still crush and push from time to time.
Right. Not a bad move.
That's exactly what this dude has done. She boasted that, hey, nothing's going to happen to me after she pled guilty because of George Gascon, the DA there, the super woke DA. She laughed, saying she wouldn't have to go back to prison or register as a sex offender. She also made explicit remarks about the victim that they say are unfit to print.
Oh, man.
So they print a lot of horrific shit.
Yeah.
We read it every day.
Yep. And this was unprintable?
Unprintable.
Okay.
So I don't know what was said in these jailhouse calls to her dad.
Okay.
So I'm going to plead guilty, Tubbs says. They're going to stick me on probation, and it's going to be dropped. It's going to be done. I won't have to register, won't have to do nothing. Dad says, you won't have to register? I won't have to do none of that. So what are they going to do to you then? Nothing, he answers and then laughs. He pled guilty last month to a cold case attack, which took place in the women's bathroom of a Denny's. He was a couple weeks shy of his 18th birthday, identified as a male named James Tubbs. After being arrested 8 years later, he began identifying as a woman. Just a lady.
Yeah.
She received a sentence of 2 years at a juvie facility because Gascon's office declined to transfer the case to adult court. So they're putting this 26-year-old man.
At that point?
Yeah, now. In
In
juvie.
juvie.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
One of his day one directives, Gascon, was barring children from being tried as adults. She'll serve as little as 6 months and won't have to register as a sex offender. The victim, who was 10 at the time, she's now 18. The things he did to me and made me do that day was beyond horrible for a 10-year-old girl to have to go through. I want him tried as an adult for the crimes he committed against me. The light sentence is offensive and hurtful and no true justice. I've also heard that my attacker goes by she/them pronouns now. I see it also unfair to try him as a woman as well, seeing how he clearly didn't act like one on January 1st of 2014. So in one of the calls, Tubbs asked the caller to start using female pronouns ahead of court. So now they're going to put me in with the other trannies, he says, that have seen their cases like mine, or with one tranny like me that has a case like mine. So when you come to court, make sure you address me as her. Then she says that if she goes to prison, she's getting sex change surgery so she can go to the women's facility. Then there's some bitches in there too. After her sentencing in our case, I became aware of the extremely troubling statements, this is Gascon's office, that she made about the case, the resolution of it, and the young girl that she harmed. The recordings, however, were made in November, and sources say they would have been well aware of these comments.
They would have to have been.
Yeah, they're listening to all this
stuff. Yeah,
jazz
all that
recording.
stuff is recorded.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, just unreal, man.
Yeah. Wow. Just can't wait for that pendulum to come back.
Yep.
Let's hope.
It's going to swing.
Hopefully.
Michelle Tafoya, last story.
Yeah. Stepping away.
Yeah, she's leaving the far left. Was she at ESPN for a while? I know she's at NBC.
Yeah, I think she,
Doing Sunday Night Football, I guess.
maybe she was always NBC.
Was she?
Maybe.
She might have been.
She seems like one of the OGs. She might have been like
Yeah.
a Costas and
Yeah.
like just one of the OGs from NBC.
Yeah, that very well could be. She revealed this week that the reason she left the leftist news organization was because she wanted to fight for American values by advocating for middle-of-the-road ideas and pushing back against far-left wokeness in schools. It's been on my mind for quite a while. I've been waking up every day with a palpable pull at my gut that my side, my view, my middle ground, kind of moderate viewpoint is not being represented to the rest of the world. I didn't feel. And so rather than, just banging it out on Twitter or Instagram every day, I thought, I've got to do something. I've benefited greatly from the American dream, and I feel like for the sake of my kids, because I love this country, I've got to start giving back. She was asked about a recent appearance on The View where she pushed back against attempts to racialize things in public schools. She said, my kids are in school. There's a big, big focus on color of your skin. My children are now 16 and 13. It's been going on since they were in grade school, and it's there that the affinity groups on campus for my son's best friend back in the day was a little African-American boy. They were inseparable. They got to a certain age, they start having what's called an affinity group, which means you go for lunch and pizza with people who look like you. Suddenly, my son wasn't hanging out with them anymore. Why are we even teaching that the color of skin matters? Because to me, what matters is your character and your values.
Amen.
I'm just astonished that we're so looking in the rearview mirror and not absorbing the progress that we've made in this country and building on it. Breaks my heart that my kids are being taught skin color matters. And to me, if you want white people to step up, I was stepping up when I addressed the school and said, why are we having these picnics for families of color? Why are we separating our kids? The world is integrated. Let's continue that and have everyone find out what we all have in common, not just what we have in common with people who look like us. Mm-hmm. She is going to be hammered.
Yeah, she will be, but
Those
I respect her. I respect what she's doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And you know what? She's probably got enough money now, from years on a national network show that she's probably got enough tucked away that it's like, you know what? If I never work again or I can never do anything again unless Fox News hires me, which will be the case. She's not hireable at any of the major networks now at all, period.
Right.
So hopefully she's got enough tucked away to be able to stand by such radical views, such radical, extreme alt-right views.
Defending the middle.
Yeah. It's just unbelievable. Someday we'll wake up or it'll be over.
Oh, yeah.
My guess is over.
We'll see which one comes first.
Email. Greetings, gentlemen. Here's an idea. How about setting up some Venmo Cash App type account so we can send money directly to you? Once you have some cash coming in, you can focus on updating the donation page on the site. Oh, by the way, I love hearing you guys talk about how cold it is up there. I moved down to South Carolina just across the border from Charlotte 13 years ago, and it was 70 degrees today. Cheers,
Oh,
Randy.
damn it,
Fuck
Randy.
off, Randy.
But that's a great idea, Randy.
It is. You know what? All that stuff's being worked on behind the scenes. We did even more members area content over the weekend. Troy and I did, so we're just kind of stockpiling it.
Yeah.
But I think it'll make for a fun grand opening of the new members area, and I really think that's where we'll make our bones. You know,
Hopefully.
I hope
Good
so.
start.
I hope so.
We should open that too. You never know.
Yeah, open all of it. I'm encouraged by people that are willing to donate or want to donate, and some of the way we had it set up was really draconian and out of date almost when we opened it years ago, and so it just needs to be redone. So that's the reality. So we've got smarter people than us working on it.
Keep it relevant for the foreseeable future.
Exactly. Exactly.
Put anything antiquated in there that's just going to have to be redone.
So continue to use the Amazon link. That's really helpful. So is the MyPillow stuff. You know, get a free copy of Mike's book when you make any order now. If you use promo code TDC, which is a fun read, you'll laugh your ass off at all the stuff he's said on this show and plenty more. So you know, they give us a great deal on everything. So please continue to do this stuff.
Yeah.
It's much appreciated. So with that, let's call it a day, T.
Okay.
We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.